Yo, what is up, folks? MTG here with Green White Hammer for Pioneer and its MTG Arena equivalent format, Explorer, which I've got on the screen in front of me. Brightglass Gearhulk is the big new card drawing us into green and white. Traditionally, these decks have been Boros. There's some really nice like turn 2 kill stuff you can do in those colors, and I made a bunch of different videos on the Boros versions of the Hammer deck. But Brightglass Gearhulk offers us a load of consistency, and while we don't have that like one-shot turn 2 combo, the consistency of that is really, really low. This way we're playing like a pretty nice deck. We've got a lot of consistency with Gearhulk, which gives us some tuning ability, and we get to play like a pretty awesome like package of equipment and artifacts and creatures to tutor for. So Gearhulk itself, green, green, white, white, 4/4, first strike trample, and then there's a bit of like a Ranger of EOS on steroids. When it enters, you can search your library for up to 2 artifacts, creature, or enchantment cards, mana value 1 or less, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. All for 4 mana, pretty nice. That tutors for our hammer combo, as well as some other bits and pieces, some utility stuff with equipment, as well as like portable hull for some removal, which is really, really strong. Also have like Haywire Might down here to like deal with problematic artifact enchantments too. It kind of tutors for whatever we may need. It is 4 mana. We want to get that early. So you've got our 8 mana creatures. We have our actual combo stuff. Colossus Hammer, 1 mana, give a creature +10/+10, but has that equip 8. Sigarda's Aid gets completely around at that equip 8 cost, and then also lets you flash it in to kind of like ambush your opponent with it in instant speed in combat. Very strong. Obviously, I mentioned portable holes, like excellent early removal for the red decks. We've got Skrelv here that we can tutor for some protection for our combo. Haywire Might, again, artifacts enchantments, and we have some more of these in the sideboard as well, because we will be playing best of 3 today. And then we also, in addition to the hammers, have some extra pieces of equipment. Shadow Spear, lifelink and trample, gives you some evasion to force the damage through tokens, and also, again, the lifelink versus the red deck is going to be really, really important. Flower Spur Boots is a way to tutor for like equipment to give your creatures haste. So like you get this into play, and then anything you draw will be able to suit it up, haste it, and the water one is occasionally relevant as well. This is mostly just like a way to be able to tutor for a way to haste our creatures. We have another way to pick up the hammer with Kemba Car Enduring. 1 and a white for a 2/2. Whenever Kemba or another cat enters, attach equipment you control to it. Kemba is the only cat in the deck, but if you have a hammer lying around, you can pick it up. And if you have hammer without Sigarda's Aid or without like Brightglass Gearhulk, you will likely need just like, okay, I'm going to play this out, and then, well, if you have the Kemba, you'll like play this out and then try and equip this on turn 2 and present like a 13/13. Also, like if you get to late game, 5 mana, make a cat token, like not terrible, and also interacts nicely with the other equipment in the deck too. Voice Resurgence offers us some, not protection for our combo, but like, hey, if you want to try and like answer our combo stuff, you're going to give us a bunch of tokens and we'll kill you that way instead. Green and white for a 2/2. Whenever an opponent casts a spell on our turn, and when the voice dies, make a green-white elemental with power and toughness equals to the number of creatures you control. This gets out of hand very, very quickly. Still some nightmares about it back in standard, but just 2 copies here. And just like, hey, if you want to like hold your removal spells and like play on our turn or use counter spells and stuff, voice will punish you. And so that's that here. Ensuring Innocence is like a pretty awesome card advantage engine. Creature with power 2 or less enters, draw a card, and then obviously has the enduring ability, so it comes back from the graveyard. It's limited once per turn, but like that'll hopefully be enough card advantage to keep us drawing 3-spot combos, with more Gearhulks to kind of keep us through the mid to late game if we have to play these like longer controlling matchups, which normally like the Boros version will just struggle out and not really have any way to get through those. Mana base is very straightforward. We have a Boseiju and a Ganjo, 1 of each basic, and then full set of green-white lands, and then the sideboard. As I mentioned, like the Gearhulks really give you access to be like, okay, artifacts, creature, and enchantments, and mana value you want to less. Like, there's a bunch of awesome stuff to get to play here. Like, be able to tutor for like removal with a portable holes is awesome. If like lifelink, actually, they obviously tutor for the combo to kill your opponent, as well as like, oh, and get like some nice answers. And so that unlocks some options for the sideboard. I already mentioned we've got more copies of Haywire Might here. We have a Grafdigger's Cage, which comes alongside 2 copies of Rest in Peace. So if you got like a deck with like some like minor graveyard stuff that you want to disrupt with, you can just like put the cage in, grab it, shut some stuff down, and then also like if it's like Phoenix or Sacrifice that's using its graveyard a lot, you bring the Rest in Pieces as well. We have 2 copies more of Voice Resurgence for those kind of controlling matchups, 2 copies of Get Lost, a bit of a catch-all, and be able to destroy like big creatures. Opponent playing like Transmogrify type, like creativity type stuff. Talked about the reps already. 2 Damping Spheres, Lotus Field, and then also kind of like Misk combo stuff, and then 4 copies of Leyline of Sanctity, which help in a couple of different matchups, but most notably I think like kind of like the blue back, this town kind of style decks, as well as like mono black discard like Pox, Waste Not, stuff like that. Yeah, pretty solid sideboard. We'll see how we go. I'm going to hop into some best of 3 ranked matches. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me out a ton. Yeah, please do like, share the video around to anyone you think might enjoy it too. And let's get into some games. Alright, first match with the new green-white hammer deck. One thing I didn't go into the dead tech is that the mana symbols are like reasonably intensive, which is why we like don't have room for loads of basics. We have innocent. We can turn to this. I'll keep it, even though we don't have like combo stuff. We'll see. There's always an argument like, okay, how hard are we gonna mulligan for the combo? This hand is like a lot of a reasonable amount of resiliency. Like, alright, we got Lana Wells. If you kill that, then like, we have the Enduring Innocence, which kind of guarantees if we're playing like a control deck, we've got a good game. And we just draw into stuff versus other opponents. So we'll go ahead and keep. But yeah, like you kind of want to, you want to always cast Lana Wells on turn 1 when you have it. But then if you want to go like Sigarda's Aid, the stuff, or like Innocence on turn 2, if you turn 1 on Lana or Elf, but then don't have like a second white source or something like that, and then like this is kind of awkward. Obviously, you need green, white exactly for the Gearhulk. Like it should, in theory, be fine, but sometimes you want to be like sometimes the difference between casting a spell one turn and the next turn, like, oh, we want to cast like a portable hole, Sigarda's Aid, and hammer, things like that. Okay. Harvester. Oh, right, this makes the most sense. They're like, oh, do you want to harvest this? Do you want to do what? Fable. Yeah. Oh, we have answered the Fable. It makes sense for us to use it. We'll go ahead and go. Let's do that first. Let's see what we draw off the Innocence. We draw into Gearhulk, we can't cast this turn. We want to do this to stop them throwing cards. And then we're just dumping their equipment into play. We do have the Ganja to hold on to. Taking 2 either way, right? Yeah, I think it makes sense to just play these out. Unless you want to, I think I'd actually kind of rather them use the harvester at this point. Yeah, let's do this now. Stop them getting the card like filtering. Well, I'll hold this back to trade with. Like if they want to attack and get treasure or something, then hey, deal with the consequences. The Gearhulk itself having trample and first strike is pretty nice. And it depends if they have like a good answer for that. Again, just not the right power and toughness, not the right amount of damage to do with this, unfortunately. Okay, so we're on 20, we've got plenty of life to work with. I'm going to shut myself. So we're going to play Lana or Elf first. Can't cheat it for like a direct answer to the... Oh, we could get like a Scroll though. I think I'd rather play the Lana or Elf. They might also effectively tutor for. Yeah, so we have Sigarda's Aid. Okay, sure. So we could go double hammer. This is kind of tempting. But then it depends like if they want to play their removal spells face up here. And they obviously have the harvesters, like okay, right. I'm gonna use that. The Mutavault's also kind of annoying. Annex plus Mutavault. Do you have to make some weird block? That would also be bad. But if they're doing this now, they're not going to use it to animate. They're thinking about the harvester, right? Oh, the Mutavault can also cast Fatal Push. That's what I'm bearing in mind. They end up on 26. Do that. This should have been reasonably telegraphed. Oh no. Oh, I'm dumb, maybe. 24, 25, 26. I messed this up. Well, the easiest thing to do is make sure we get the Shadow Spirit points. Surely. Five, 6, 26. We've got 2. Alright, sure. If there's a way for us to like activate a Ganjo, then that'd be fine. We are like not in the clear at all though here. We're gonna get a ton of life. Oh, they no blocks. Right, okay. Oh, we can sacrifice the blood token. Oh, he's the one too. They have this thing, they can flip. They still need an answer for the Gearhulk. Yeah, I was like trying to look out. I was like, with the Sheoldred, they can stay alive for sure. There wasn't a way, we didn't have quite enough mana to do. You can see again, Jay. Okay, so they're doing this overplaying. No blocks here. Over. I want these to like stick around to put equipment onto theory. Over flipping the demon, which sounds like they've got an answer for this. Alright, cool. They just needed to. They still hoping to draw one off of this. Okay, interesting. Like how I might like voice. I was thinking have hand description stuff. I need to think about these ley lines a little bit. I don't love get lost, but like portable hole here is also kind of miserable. Maybe swap these around. But it's really only Sheoldred we're worried about here. I'm not overly. It depends how many cards I want to bring in. I don't think of Liliana or the Edict effect. Like the blue-black decks, they're trying to like make you like, in addition to the discard stuff, have like the like, all right, you're gonna sacrifice a bunch of creatures. I think actually it probably is each opponent, isn't it? Oh goodness, they've just done a really good job of making this card a lot worse. But like the hand description is definitely very very real. I'm trying to think if there's anything else targeted we need to like really worry about. The answer is maybe no, but it's kind of hard to. It's way easier to tell from the other end of it, where you're the person playing the Rakdos deck. But yeah, I think cutting some number of portable holes here is fine. Realm's good. Like the Halo Mites are good. Like be able to add to like Fable like that. But obviously they're still getting the token off of it. Like hey, we're gonna token for it. It's not like an insane card to bring in more copies of. I don't think it does deal with the annex, which is nice. But again, I don't know if I want to max out here. The boots are kind of the Shadow Spirit is actually I don't think very good, but I typically have always played like a more of the sky claves in these kind of decks. Like so when the hammer equips, you can then jump a creature to it flying again. Kind of want to play it without the ley lines. Yeah, I just don't think there's enough. Oh, I did show duress as well. Okay, so if we're doing that, I think we're cutting Kembers and maybe Trim Sagada's Aid here. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. The idea being that the Sagada's Aid is worse than multiples. This is an interesting idea to tutor for 2 hammers there. I thought we'd be able to leave them, but with all the extra draws off of Annex as well. Because we're able to Mutavault to get the life and also gain the life of Sheldred. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It seemed like the best way to find a path to victory. Just like to put the damage because at the time they were on like 26, we're gonna be chipping away. We drew the aid, which is why we played the creature first to draw before we suited. But yeah, on my column B. I don't hate it or love it. Mulligan with Islands hurts about anyway. The voice is kind of carrying this hand a little bit. I think I am going to keep it. As you can draw into ways to tutor for the Sagada's Aid, if we draw into one, this is incredible. But hey, it's a weird one like that where it's like 2 parts of the combo, but the parts by themselves don't really do very much. Yeah, I was remembering they had like duress as well, and actually probably have more hand disruption because we're kind of a combo deck that might board into more. Lana Elf is definitely a good turn 1 shot. Oh, there we go. Like just catching up for a second. Let's see. Now we're going to present a voice resurgence. Thing is, like, they can just be like, all right, we'll just kill it now. But if not, we maybe get the surround over it. They also just have like Fable or something. This is kind of annoying. We do at least have a Haywire Might. Play this. I'm gonna set a stop for when they pass priority in the second main. The trigger doesn't go on the stack. I think I play the second one out. Just increase the damage on board. It also means like having it in play like does stuff for the voice ability, things like that. Yeah, sure. I'll respond to this here. Just so I don't miss the timing interval. Pop off. They've played Mutavault to animate it for the ability to. Oh, interesting. So you want to hold these hammers as long as possible. The reason I'm pointing out the Kemba is because it's only like a 1-shot as the combo. They kind of both are. The Kemba is like fully sorcery speed, and more vulnerable to like its removal. I don't want to equip the Haywire Might attack. I don't really want to equip the voice attack either. Okay, I'm gonna equip the voice, but we'll just leave it here. I don't really want to trade with the Bloodhide Harvester, which like feels bad overall. I don't really love that interac. The feeling of that. But yeah. It just stops me able to just be like, oh, I'm just gonna remove it, get you a token now. It's definitely like a case like the Bloodwire, the Haywire Might in our hand. I kind of did think they were just going to remove the voice straight away. I'm going to push it now. So we got a token off the back, but we are in a bit of a sticky situation. Gandro is not necessarily going to help us. We can offer to trade the token for the Mutavault. At this point, it doesn't feel great, but it maybe keeps them off of 5 mana annexing. I think that's kind of okay. Actually, I don't love that. 5. We just have the Gearhulk at 4. I'm just gonna pass it. I don't really want to transfer me about. Be faithful. Like we could offer to do it now, but now we have the Ganja in hand. Oh, so he joins the Gearhulk, we can do. Yeah, this has gone a little sideways. Like Ganja. Be a little loudy, but okay. You harvester. This guy's double verge. They kind of land full. I'm gonna torch it. Using the torch not on the voice sounds like a miss, but just stop this getting harvested away straight away. I think I'm getting backside of Fable now, which is gonna get problematic with the harvester, obviously. So we kind of need to find. They have a lot of XR removal actually. Maybe it's not so good. Me talking about Camber, also me. Oh, sounds like there's a fatal push in my life. We'll see. There it is. It's like really, really. Maybe they didn't. We've just not seen them, but they've not cast any. They've shown no hand disruption. It could be they have a spell stuck in hand as a last card, but I'm pretty confident off off the last turn that their last card was a fatal push last turn. Okay. I'm gonna give it a turn cycle. Let's see if we can find anything. Sure. That's the thing. Also, with all the blood, they can just kind of fill through a load of cards. And then obviously all our small creatures get blown up by the Bloodhound Harvesters, and very soon all our big creatures will. Okay. Here we go. Okay, we're on 11, take a draw step. You can kill the scroll straight away. We're going to game 3. Okay, so really hard to say if the ley lines were going to have this, that's how they're configured. They have torches, plus the annoying means the voices were like pretty miserable. Maybe we want to change this up a lot. Also, maybe Harvest is annoying enough where we do want the portable holes. Kind of interesting. This is me tilt being burned and being like, no, we're going to take the light lines back. I'm still going to show more on Canva. Really try and keep the numbers. And when we're on the play, we're incentivized to play for the combo, but I think probably. The voices should still be good. Even with the exile removal. There being some. Because like Torch, they're gonna like when they have, they're gonna use on like a Lana Rifle. Well, but hey, we'll see. We do get to choose to play first. Oh, and we have Skrelv. When I talk about the mana issues, I basically mean that this card is like really awkward. We'll keep this. If you go turn 1, like branch off pathway Lana Ralph, you just aren't casting a turn 2. You can't. You're not gonna have to. In this situation, our hope is to have one of our Skrelvs enabled and then be able to play the rest of the game kind of through that. Obviously, it can't protect itself, but we'll at least like eat a decent amount of removal from our opponents. I think this time I'm also going to try a little harder to keep hold of our AOR mites rather than expose them. It's tough because it's like, okay, if we're not playing them, if they're creatures and we're not playing them out, then, or if they're our only creatures and we're not playing them out, then it's like, okay, what we do. But they were able to kind of last time they were able to kind of like clear it and go around. Like here, the one important thing is that Skrelv can't protect itself. We can like threaten that we've got a flash threat, and realistically the 1 damage isn't going to do very much over the course of the game in our deck. The only other thing to consider here is that turn 3 is the optimal time for them to play Fable and Annex, and so this is the one turn we'd be like, alright, we're going to play the Haywire Might out. And with Skrelv already in play, like, okay, we can protect this so they don't just get to like free roll or remove it. Yeah, we see Torch come for the Skrelv. Now he does say another target creature you control. Is not Mother Runes. Okay, we see Harvester here though. But we know we've got the Portable Hole. Though, if it's between casting Portable Hole and casting Brightglass Gearhulk, I think we've got to go for the Gearhulk. It's tricky. You rock a rhyme. It's rock. And then also games 2 and 3 where they have more what am I looking for? Oh, we drew a second hammer. Do this thing. Where they have more removal in the deck, it makes much less sense to go Brightglass Gearhulk for like 2 hammers and try and like force a combo like lethal kill where it just does to like one removal spell. Unfortunately used up both Scrubs already, but will be more incentivized to be like, oh, let's pick up like one Haywire Might, deal with some stuff they have, like pick up some other utilities. Okay. Fable. So annoying, because it's like, okay, we should definitely do this, but oh, we leave them with like a 2/2 that just like sits around making treasures. But we can't let them just like draw through a bunch of cards. And then we hope to draw a land for our Brightglass Gearhulk. Is the plan. On time. White, green. Should be on white. Okay, so we know we want to get Sigarda's Aid. If they have like sandbagged as Duress the entire time for us to tier 1, that would be kind of sick. I'll pretend like they top that anyway. That's fine. And then it depends what we want to get rid of. So we can get like the boots is kind of interesting. Haywire Might's kind of interesting. Orbital Hole's kind of interesting. I think I'm most tempted by the Might, but the Orbital Hole might be. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do this. It does say like, hey, we already got hammers, but like, hey. Sometimes hammers be hammers. Alright, blood gone. Well, I guess other notable things that we first strike the token, we don't have to worry about like torch off the back of it or something. Okay, so we're gonna play Annex. We're gonna play Annex on a small half. The question here is, are they gonna attack? They're not, so we have lethal. I was like, if they like attack to make a treasure to kind of like throw us off, then real thing. But yeah, we get there. Okay, okay. Alright, second match. Brennan is on the play. So another situation like acceleration into endurance. This locks us playing the white pathway. Yeah. When I talk about the managers, it's basically like pathway is not ideal. But I'm gonna keep this. I like a choice here about the Skrelv. But I think the most powerful thing we can do in this hand is turn to the Enduring Innocence. You know what? That's some nice island art. I've not seen that before. Don't lie. We'll see what our opponent's up to. Like, it might be better that we get like Skrelv online and then get the land. Ooh, okay. Maybe Phoenix, maybe some kind of a blue-red combo deck. But I think we did draw Temple Garden. I think the smartest thing to do is leave our options open and then go Elf Skrelv here and then decide what side we're playing the Brightglass pathway on later on. But all things considered, it should be fine. Once we have 2 green sources, we'll kind of find a play on white. Okay, no, yeah, Phoenix. Okay. We should be casting Gearhulk here. I'm just going to tutor for both parts of the combo. The one thing we have to watch out for is like a Spell Pierce. We'll see. It might be if they're just like holding up their mana and not committing anything to the board, that we just like take a little bit more time with it. Okay, torch on the Skrelv here. Fair enough. Might see we get the lightning, the Brightglass Gearhulk lightning axe. Crossing up words now. We'll see. One other thing worth noting is that these blue-red decks tend to play at least one bounce spell now, so even though like a hammer equipped creature should be immune to all the damage based removal, still possible. Now, they're actually going to lightning axe the mana wealth, which makes me feel like they have a Spell Pierce. Because they could just lightning axe the Gearhulk. I think the way I want to play this, and we actually have the Chem as a backup. So really, they have 2 cards. I don't want to risk this getting Spell Pierce. It feels really hard. Like they're kind of like they've like maybe they're like trying to telegraph it on purpose, but like choosing this way and going for the mana denial plan seems way more sus to me. We can also end step this Colossal Hammer because the Scar's Egg gives it flash. Yeah, normally like 2 Spell Pierces is like the quote standard amount. What's gonna happen is they're gonna play like I don't know. Cruise. Mana left. They could just like kill our creatures for eternity, but we can also respond to like, if they go to try and damage a second creature, we can then get the hammer in and equipped. Let's keep it up. Yeah, I'm convinced they have the Spell Pierce, but they could easily not have done. We want 2 Rest in Pieces. We want the Graphics Cage Tutor 4. The Damping Spheres are interesting. We should probably bring these in. which I'm a little worried about these first stuff. This stuff we don't care about. And then what are we cutting? The enduring instances in like games we're going like back and forth to removal. That's kind of like a problem. I'm not too worried about the Shadow Spear. We could potentially get into the rest of the situation. I really like having this around the deck. The Haywire Mites I kind of want to get rid of. And then like the portable. So we didn't see any shredders or I think this can also catch like Alchemist talent. I don't like leaving 4 of them in the deck, but I think that's the best way. Scrub's good. Like trimming 1 mana, dude. One thing that you can consider is going down to 7 mana creatures, but like this is definitely what we're trying to do. And the voice is also kind of interesting. Like down on Kemba, and then one of these two wants to go. Probably the boots, I think. Yeah. Let's do that. See how it plays out for us. Yeah, this Gearhulk deck is super sweet. To the extent where like Aspiring Spike's been playing Gearhulk and the Brightglass Gearhulk in Modern tutoring for this hammer combo, and it's been like surprisingly good. Like it's a really good way to close out a game. And so I've just acquired some paper to try out in some Green Sun Zenith packages. I've been playing like a lot of like green, white, Night Reliquary decks, with like Titania and Sylvan Safekeeper. I'd love to do that deck. I shouldn't think it's something that people want to see. I will mulligan this, even though it has a load of stuff that we want. Mana and stuff. Keep 6. I'm gonna put the patch cloth. Not a super strong hand, but realistically, we'd rather have. I hate that I can't just do. I'd rather have the scrub active longer time. The reason why I'm not doing Branch Off Pathway Line of Worlds is because it doesn't let us scrub and portable hole next turn. So if they have like a Ledger Shredder that we want to exile, or an Alchemist talent we want to exile, we can't cast both of these. With the expectation that they end step remove the Atlanta Royale at the time of casting it. So, yeah. And now we will probably run both these out. Yeah. Talent is such a powerful card. I've been meaning to try some stock up versions of Lotus Field. When I say meaning to, I've been thinking about it, and it's just not a. There's a lot of game actions. It's not the greatest deck to play on Arena, basically, is what I'm saying. And it's not a great playing experience from an opponent's side either. Ooh, man's kind of nuts here. I hadn't even really considered that. I'm just gonna come with this Ralph. It can't protect itself. And here we're massively behind. The 2-for-1 from the command is really big, and it's almost like a. Well, no, the 2-for-1. We did mulligan to 6. Okay, double talent. It's kind of interesting. Fighting the battle over one of them is probably worth it, and we've not seen any Ledger type stuff. It just, yeah, we just should be denying them as much access to the library as possible, where possible. Okay, let me see if I can sit. Phoenix. Plan. Then it depends if they have the resources to bring it back. Obviously, they get to like see a load of cards with the talent in play. All right. We'll play this on white. I'm gonna go red. I'm gonna come back in. Let's get the chipping in. Free the Fae. They didn't find another 1 mana cantrip there. Oh, they got Cruise though. They are big chillin'. Alright. But yeah, it's got a second copy of Cruise. This game's you know. We're behind a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Would you Gearhulk? There's some interesting questions here. Okay, so we have Gearhulk. They have a load of mana, but we have Scroll to protect. Bunch of stuff can happen. How many cards do they have in their graveyard? A lot. So we could get Sigarda's Aid, Second Hammer. We could get Sigarda's Aid, Grafting's Cage, which I think is kind of interesting. I'm leaning in that direction, so we definitely want to get this. The other thing is, and this just stops them. This does two things. If it resolves, it stops them getting Phoenixes back. And if it gets Spell Pierce, then it eats a Spell Pierce, and we can do this next turn to hopefully present next to close to lethal. We'll see. We're on 14 though. Yeah, the Grafting's Cage resolved that incident. Because they need effectively two, like, oh well, not two line axes, because they can just like target something smaller at the Skrelv. But then you get to, again, they get to see a load of cards. We also know, so we've seen Prismari, I think she's paying more attention to what they've gone through. We've seen the Prismari command, it's obviously a great double card versus us, makes like, what a whole bit worse of an answer. Maybe we want to like do some Get Losting. Thing in the Ice is the other 2-drop they're playing. I think I did see one of the, did see this game one and forgot about it. Well, maybe I didn't. That's worth bearing in mind. Alright. Cruise again. They are somewhat limited by red sources. But not sure how that's like actually. Okay, I got another one. I'm gonna Profts. Oh, okay. Are we just gonna be dead? That could also happen. Treasure Cruise. Prof Sleight of Hand. Up as well. I mean, it's hard to get to 14. Okay, they've got a Braid for the talent. That's you've got one more Phoenix in the graveyard. Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah, the talent's drawn them loads of cards. We're so dead. Alright. Yeah, there's 8 triggers on it. That's Exactsies, which is impressive. Alright. Yeah, that was a better thing versus you, but I think getting the cage there and trying to get into play was definitely correct. So the fact that they are, so they're playing a bunch of talents plus profts, and then also have the Prismari commands, which is like, oh, that's something that's well. Having a higher creature count wouldn't hurt. I'm like thinking about these get lost in these voices a little bit. The I don't know, it's also more exciting. Okay, I think I like this better than I like the things that can just play on their turn is the thing with that voice. It was even all the graveyard. Hey, I think the Damning Spirits are just good enough. Get lost. Like, hey, do you want these? I think splitting the numbers between Portable Hole and Get Lost, we don't get quite as blown out. They don't have loads of. They did show Braid as well. Like all those things can get played at creatures otherwise. Just like, okay, not the end of the world, but yeah. And the games can play out very, very differently. Like, And really, we shouldn't really be in loads of race situations. It can happen. Do you want to split space here? I don't really. They've shown a lot of they have shown lots of artifacts. Yeah, okay. I'm fine with this. And then we have the 2 Haywire Mites. Cutting Kembers down and out. Like, if we get to just like do Kemba untapped, then that's like pretty sick. Oh, we are bringing in like Enduring Innocence alongside Rest in Peace. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I don't like cutting Innocence here, but obviously like, yeah, in theory we disable it. We like turn it off ourselves a little bit. But it's one of those things where if they go like remove a spell, remove a spell, remove a spell, remove a spell, cruise, remove a spell, remove a spell. Okay. What? So this is a weird hand. I'm gonna keep it. Alright, we get to see what can Kemba do. Cast a Sleight of Hand. Do it, you won't. Okay, they didn't. We're gonna try and do the thing. And this is why I was like all about cutting Kembas here. Is that if they have a 2 damage spell, yeah, they're the Fire Impulse. This just fizzles. Now this is kind of stranded. At least we don't have to deploy the other Colossal Hammer. We get to just like cast this other Kemba and feel kind of alright about it. But yeah, it's a bit tricky. Oh, they're gonna braid the hammer rather than do this. That's fine. Like Rosh says, we'd rather keep the creature in play, I guess. Sort of. Okay, so we have Alchemist's Talent plus the. We're gonna maybe get to activate this, which is fun. I'm gonna do this. Okay, never mind. No, we won't get to. No, we won't get to activate it. All right, we're down to 1 card already. I did keep like a turn 2 hammer. I kept a turn 2 hammer hand that was like really awkward. And in the face of this, I was like, okay, yeah, this is not good. This is not the one. But okay, we also have the extra Artist Talent, which is a little sad. Oh, not the Spikefield Hazard, no. They should have a lot more, like the access to interact with us is a lot more open than ours to interact with them. Mostly because like we have some good cards with the Cage, the Rips, like gonna be great. And we have some, like this game would love an Enduring Innocence right now. But and then with the talent in play, they kind of get to just keep doing their thing. And they can chain card filtering into removal into treasure cruise or over. And then eventually kill us with the Phoenixes. Which is why I was like, right, okay, let's try and like aggressively attack the artist talents. It's not necessarily gone that well, I'll be honest. But like also at any point we could draw a Brightglass Gearhulk and kind of get straight back into the game, which is cool. That bit's good. I like that bit. I think they're just kind of setting up here at the moment. Alright, this is freeze number 1. Right. There's a Phoenix. Just need two monsters and sorceries. Should be light work. I guess the other thing is that with Artist Talent, you can it's only one shot, but we're gonna be like dead in 2 hits to this thing. The one caveat being, I guess if we draw Sigarda's Aid, we could in theory have lethal. Are we gonna need... Oh, they didn't cast another one. They thought the profs counted. For... Okay. We can't kill this turn. Yeah, we need to use all our mana. Ah! That is very awkward. Our Brightglass Gearhulk has been annulled. It might be time to call it quits for the day. Yeah. I'm a big fan of an ult in the sideboard. Blue decks and Pioneer. But that's particularly right. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Yeah, because you don't count all per turn. Five cards. Player hand doesn't actually draw it. Be 6 cards. They put the counters on the thing at the ice. There. We need to draw a It's unlikely that Sigarda's able to have done it. We need to get both hammers on all creature. And they have 2 red mana. So I imagine they'll do is that they'll flip the thing here to bounce everything, and then cast into the sorceries to discard and trigger the Phoenixes. Either way, with the tokens, we are very, very dead, I'm afraid. GG's. Alright. Interesting games. Yeah, the Izzet match was not super great. It's not necessarily even that Phoenix was particularly super hard, but they had some really, really nice answers. And we did bowling it. But hey, I think trying to play to be all in the combo there is really, really tough, and you probably actually want to I know, like, the second game I was like, oh, let me trim some enduring instances because we're turning them off. But I think even with that, like, if we get the rest in peace in play and we've landed on board, we're like, doing well enough that this doesn't matter. But we should have the 4 instances in because there are games where they're just going to 1-for-1 us for Oblivion, cast Treasure Cruise, and be a million miles ahead. And we should actually, like, trim some of the combo bits, so, like, some Sigarda's Aids and Hammers. Because the Brightglass Gearhulks was carrying, and having them stranded in our hand is the worst thing possible. But yeah, there's some thoughts on that matchup that could improve a little bit. But my general takeaway is that this deck is awesome. Gearhulk is like an absolute powerhouse. Like every time we drew it, it was like, okay, this game is like basically at any point if we drew the card, it was winnable. But hey, the all there was brutal, I'll be honest. But we were kind of dead the next turn anyway. Looking at the game state, all the toolbox stuff is incredible. This is the stuff we're going through in a minute. If you've got any other ideas, do let me know in the comments as well. There's some other options as well. I will say that. I added the Lava Spur Boots as like kind of like, oh, this is like the Lightning Greaves kind of style effect. This doesn't necessarily need to be here. The Shadow Spear, I think, just kind of, you just need to have some way to gain life back versus the red decks of the format at the minute. I love being able to play the main deck Howler Mites and the Scrolls to be like, alright, we're going to tutor some stuff up and just set some stuff up. The voice was kind of mid, to be honest. But overall, I'm going to be pretty happy with that card. Maybe the ones that the sideboard want to change for some kind of Planeswalker type thing. Playing the Llanowar as an Elvish Mystic, like just kind of like ramp into like 4 or 5 mana Planeswalkers pretty easily. You get like Nissa going on in here or something like that. There's some other options too. Yeah. But I do think the deck is really, really good. And would definitely recommend it. I was thinking like, oh, what would like a Naya hammerless look like, kind of like combining some of these elements? the mana is rough. That is probably a mana confluence mana base, because you still want to be able to do the things on turns like 1, 2, or 3, and cannot really afford to like stumble as much. You need to be able to like, oh, we want to cast like Skrelv or cast like the like goblin cards that are relevant, and then be able to shoot for them all and cast them, and still cast green, green, white, white, and still be able to do all the stuff. But Naya Lightsaber may be coming soon. Let me know in the comments if you want to see some of that kind of stuff, because I think that would be really, really sweet too. But yeah, that is Green White Hammer. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do like, subscribe, share the video around. All that good stuff would help me out a ton. Would really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Peace out.